Welcome back. Well, you may notice that arrayed around me are a new bunch of heroes ready to take on the challenge. Before we jump straight into that, though, let's resolve the 9-letter anagram that we had before. I did sneakily just send it round to my players here. You had very little time to do it, but did anyone get it?
I was looking at my spell book, sorry.
I tried a little few, but like Demi didn't work, so I was kind of like rushing around for other things, but I didn't have enough time to.
Yeah.
Demi Gimp?
Something.
Absolutely reasonable. The resolution for this riddle, this anagram, is impending.
I knew it started with an I. I was certain it was going to start with an I. I just thought that's where you were going. That's all.
I was sure it was an ing, but
it's all good. I wouldn't have given you any inspiration points for it anyway, because you've got more time.
It feels so obvious now that I know it. All the letters were there.
Clues were there the whole time. Right. So this is Tribor. Tribor is a smallish town in Faerun, kind of northeast of Fandalin, way north of Waterdeep and Baldur's Gate, in that sort of kind of region. Yarta, I believe, is to the east as well. It's one of those towns that's sort of a midway town, like lots of trade passes through it on its way to various different cities. It also happens to be on the hit list of a certain Zaz Tam Lich, who has set up a dread ring dotted around a large swathe of the countryside. You are all heroes who have been contacted one way or another by one of the heroes in Neverwinter who discovered this plot. And for your own reasons, possibly, you live here and don't want it to be destroyed. You've all decided to congregate, to hear the call and come to the aid of Faerun. And through some kind of networks and getting pieces of information here and there, you've all managed to find yourselves in the Tribor Arms, a pub in the kind of southern end of Tribor, where you were told to await instruction at a particular table. And indeed, that table was occupied, and you would have all surmised that these are all other people who have been brought together for this reason. Now, because I don't like just arbitrarily picking an order, and also because I always go alphabetical, I'm going to ask you all to roll a d20, and we will go that way.
Oh,
So it occurs to me I'm now going to have to arbitrarily pick who says their number first.
Roll for exposition.
Oh,
15.
15 for G.
6.
6 for Nick.
1, which is the lowest initiative I'm going to roll for this character ever.
I rolled a sweet 2.
Okay, Koki, right. Well, G, please could you tell us a little bit about your character, including what they look like, what they've been up to, and also please introduce yourself, your pronouns, your character's pronouns, and their name.
Sure. Hi, I'm G. I use he, him pronouns. Pardon me. And I am playing protagonist Jones, who uses he, they pronouns, and presents to the world as standing about 6 feet tall, wearing a like trench coat, kind of like a brown trench coat, has like quite chunky metal feet, stocky legs, and an octopus for a head in a sort of globe of water, with a quite soggy fedora sort of sat on top, and our tentacle hands, as the octopus. They are private investigators, so I think since the last time we saw them, they are in Neverwinter usually. So yeah, they've been investigating for whoever needs their help. Probably some missing persons kind of stuff, low level crime that maybe the city guard aren't interested in checking out.
Perfect. And find your way to tribal through business, presumably. Right. We then go to the next highest, which was the Suite 6.
A rare, large jump. But anyway, yes, hello, I'm Nick, and I'm he, him pronouns, and I am bringing back Carabo Maka, who is a Dissipator Tiefling. He is of purplish-red hue. His greatest defining characteristic is that of his two horns, one is cloven down to about just an inch off the head, which is from a past which he doesn't tend to hide, but he doesn't share unless asked.
You did a Karlak before it was cool.
Yeah, absolutely, of course.
You mean a Hellboy?
Yeah, he's about 5'11". He's quite cheery looking, and he, since the last time we saw him, which was returning from a domain of dread, which got a bit of a facelift from as somebody stayed behind. And Sean has no problems with how that worked out. Anyway, yeah, he went for a spa. That was absolutely one of the ending things. He went for a spa, but I do believe that since then, Captain Neary probably let him go because he was gone for a long time and showed no aid to the guard that he was meant to be working for. Talked about becoming king of the sewer people, probably tried, and now is not there for reasons unknown.
There you go. A brief history of everything that Bo has been up to. Right. The next highest initiative of 2.
Hello, it's me, Niall. I use he, him, and I'm playing today G, also known as the Guardian of the Forest. He's a wonderful 6-foot plus warforged, decked in studded leather armor and roses. His favorite thing to do is walk. And that's what he has been doing for many days now, coming across whoever he comes across, helping out those in need, defeating those who need to be defeated. He doesn't really know what's going on, but he's been asked to do something, and you know what? By Sylvanas, he's going to do it.
Lovely. And the lowest that you are going to roll this whole game?
Yep. I'm still getting over how wholesome G is. Both of them. Ah, you guys. Hi, I'm Nat. I use she, her pronouns, as does my character, Dr. Eleth Nura Durrani, colloquially known as Dr. Durrani or Nura to... she doesn't have that many friends. She is a half-elf with sort of dark purpley hair with a gold streak in it, short cut. Has an eye patch over her left eye with some magical scarring just about visible behind it. Dressed again in sort of now a much cleaner. Actually, I've not really put any thought into this. She probably is not wearing her Nexus Arts uniform anymore. Need to figure out what that's going to look like. I guess look at the mini and we'll find out. Note to self, do mini. She was most recently seen helping solve a problem that she accidentally created in trying to planar hop her way back to the prime material plane timeline, accidentally bringing a big death orb, summoning zombies with her, parted ways with her pals that she fixed that with, and has been spending a little bit of time heading back to the remains of the Nexus Arts facility, probably dealing with some kind of paradox involving a lot of tiny Doris units that we definitely don't have time to discuss in detail here, so who knows how that turned out.
Something for the future, I'm sure.
We'll just gloss over the fact that, we don't know.
So, as we have our robot-footed, trenchcoat-wearing, octopus-faced individual opposite from a 6-foot-tall warforged covered in roses, a tiefling with filed-down horns, and Dr. Nora Deroni, who whatever she happens to be wearing.
I mean, that just makes it sound like we need to go for something lewd, but
No. As undiscussed.
she never
but
would.
View the mini. Or just add it to the wiki. Maybe guesses in chat. There we go. I'm completely derailed. Firstly, I guess what would your reactions be to kind of the people around you? Feel free to popcorn in.
Utter serenity. Like, G's just sat there, probably towering over everyone, still sat down, hands on lap, completely still, because he doesn't breathe. And he's probably just listening to everyone, eyes just like completely blank, scanning everyone, his little face, still smiling, because it's the shape of his face. His mouth kind of looks like a mechanical smile, like if Iron Man looked like happier. That's
If you had eyebrows like this instead of frowny ones.
Yeah. He doesn't really have. They're just sort of like big lamp lights that look out.
Nura is probably sort of I don't know, frantically like just taking notes and writing down thoughts and doing calculations at the side of the table. Not sort of will have acknowledged the others as she came in, and then sort of just cracked on doing her own thing, unless anyone specifically started talking to her.
Are you trying to hide at all what you're making notes about?
No, she's probably collecting notes and gathering data about what we're here to do. It's not sort of private research. We don't do that in front of strangers. Don't be ridiculous.
Is it on this headed paper though?
No, because that definitely would have been Tusk's thing, and she would have had her own notebooks.
So when coming here, like, how big is this obelisk that we're meant to be
So
doing?
the obelisk that you're looking for is 150 foot tall by about 25 foot wide.
Right.
So we're talking. You'd think that you'd see it.
Yeah. Okay.
I will in a second offer you all a perception roll, but I want to see what you're all thinking of your new companions.
So I think I would notice what you're noting, and I sort of lean over the table a bit and go, sorry, hang on. What am I even saying? Have you come across these obelisks before?
No, I've not had to deal with them yet, but my informant says that they are rather large, so I'm hoping that they'll be rather easy to spot. Actually, I'll tell you what she is working on. I am going to start casting, while we're waiting, an arcane eye, and start just kind of sending it up and just like droning around the town.
Good.
Looking out for the next hour.
It occurs to me, G, the player, not the character. What have we done?
So all going according to plan.
It occurs to me that Protagonist has actually seen these before. The ones in Neverwinter Wood were only about 100 foot tall. So we are talking a kind of 50% increase, 1,000%. I don't know. I don't do distances. Once it goes beyond a couple of meters, I'm useless.
While we await further instructions, I will send this out to have a look. If you have any information, any of you, on what we're looking out for, please let me know.
Unfortunately, I have experience of these objects. I had to deal with one previously, along with another team.
So it has been dealt with. I was under the impression that as long as one was dealt with, then the ritual was broken.
That was a different, much smaller circle.
I see. But it can be done. What did you do?
G, the player, will need reminding.
Oh. Well, the dread ring in Neverwinter Wood was set off. You were not able to stop it. And in fact, you lost one of your colleagues, Rex, who was unfortunately the only one of your number who was on the inside of the circle when it went off,
Yes.
which you can reload.
Yeah.
So how did you stop it?
We did not.
I see.
We.
But you understood the theory behind it and were unsuccessful, inadequate, or you had no idea what you were doing?
It is not my area of expertise.
What
Sadly,
is?
we lost the member of the group who understood it best, I believe.
That is not convenient. What do you know?
Can I roll a history or something to
Yeah,
just see what
yeah, it has been a couple of months, like possibly
Yeah.
a year by this point. So
yeah, like I think I would have tried to find out something or yeah.
So what, you roll that history. In the meantime,
Yep.
what's Bo up to? What's Bo listening in?
Yeah, Bo's just paying attention, listening quite contentedly, probably flicking almost innocent-like between faces, just so, like, listening in and seeing what's going on. Having spent time with the Hand and the Winter Stag and people in a domain of dread, he's not so fazed by random people that he's never met before. He's just quite intrigued, and he's really quite interested in he's probably at that kind of point of being somebody sitting across the table who's really eyeing and really paying attention to you, and possibly getting a little bit awkward because he just doesn't stop.
So you'll be getting sort of like out of her one visible eye, just sort of that sort of frowny eye flick up every so often while she's paying attention to what PJ is saying.
If it's of any help, like, I don't think you have to worry too much, because, you know, we've all been brought here for very important reasons. I'm pretty sure we can improvise around the situation, and it'll be fine. It usually works out. I always find it. Normally, it's okay.
Let us hope your confidence in people you have never met before is not misplaced. I personally like to have a bit more of a guarantee.
I am good at improvising. And then G holds up a little finger and a little flower petal sprouts out, just like the head of a daisy.
Oh, that's very nice.
You may have it.
Oh.
And he hands the daisy head to you.
Thank you.
He pats you gently on the head.
Ah. Is that a greeting thing? I go to pat you gently on the head as well.
I find that the smaller people tend to enjoy having their hair ruffled gently, not hard.
I see. I have no hair, as you can see, only horns, and you have... I get it, though. You're very tall. It's very nice.
By my estimation, you are probably 12, like your counterparts.
Oh. Well, no. I think some would find that complimentary to be considered so young, but no, I've not 12. No.
Oh no. G just sort of looks up like he's contemplating something. A little finger goes to his chin. He starts tapping it, and you can see cogs really whirring on inside there.
Very much.
I would like to clarify, just for any avoidance of doubt, I would not enjoy my hair ruffled, thank you.
Interesting.
Okay. G, what was your history roll?
10.
10. I think it's not so much that you don't remember, it's that you obviously you've spent a lot of time trying to look into it. It would have been quite raw for the first few weeks, possibly even longer, knowing that someone had been there in your group and then perished, possibly due to you never know when there's something that you could have done about it. And unfortunately, it's not something that you've been able to source. Dread rings are not a topic that is generally widely available, even just to discuss as, oh, this is a thing that happened. We're not telling you how, but it happened. The best you could tell with a 10 is you knew it was the Saiyans, but even that, you fought a red wizard, so
yeah,
that was the best you could do. I'm gonna, before we jump back into conversation, quickly say, as Nora is scanning around the town, so Tribal is not big. It is, helpfully my map says 1 square equals 20 feet, and my map does not have any squares on it.
Love that.
It'll be one of those ones that has like a little line, and that you have to get like a ruler, and then you have to actually measure them across.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I literally do have a key at the bottom, and I don't have the time to be doing any kind of math in my head. But I can tell you that it is a town only by kind of the slimmest of margins. Really, it's a large village, but has somehow managed to just eke in the requirements for a town. It has a keep, which is where the captain of the guard, who's a elected individual on behalf of Neverwinter. The town is largely horse farms and that sort of thing. So as your eyes whizzing around, you can see a lot of horse-related businesses. So saddleries, blacksmiths, obviously the horse farms themselves. As the eye flies more northward, you spot what is probably the most I want to say discontiguous, but I'm not convinced that that's a word. Incongruous element of this town, which is a very, very large, one could even surmise possibly 150-foot tall, or a little bit taller, statue in the likeness of Laeral Silverhand. And you can see that
Big statue.
A very big ass statue.
How big are the statues in Waterdeep?
Pretty big.
Pass. Answers in chat.
Is this bigger? Anyway.
She stood bolt upright, sword kind of firmly placed downwards, as if just kind of carved from one very static upright slab of stone. And you can see that arrayed around it are plethora of people. It looks like a lot of people have made a pilgrimage to see this large statue. And there's also a number of guardsmen dotted around the perimeter of it. Mostly just kind of making sure no one gets too close to the statue, but also just sort of working the crowd and making sure that people are having fun, more or less. It is at this moment that you all, in your heads, receive a message. And the voice, it sounds like it's been altered magically before kind of coming into your head. Almost like if you imagine like in those spy films where the killer makes a phone call and they've got an altered... We're talking that, but less sinister, more...
Sure.
Yeah.
She's got a bit of cloth over the receiver, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
They've gone high pitch instead of low pitch. Hi! Hello everyone, I've got a job for you.
They're speaking through a kazoo.
Your mission, if you choose to accept it.
You all receive this message. Thank you for joining us here at the town. The Harpers are very pleased that you are able to join us. We've, same as you, we have received this message about a large obelisk of destruction somewhere in the town. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. It's going to be the statue of Laeral Silverhand. The difficulty is I cannot reveal to you who I am, but I am very intimately involved with the town's guard, and therefore will not be able to aid you in this quest. In fact, should it come to it, I am going to have to step in and try to stop you. Now, don't worry, I will obviously pull my blows if this does come to it, but I need you to somewhat go against the guards in this one. This statue is malignant, isn't it? It's this is quite clearly the workings of Zastam, but I don't know how you're going to do this. But
Can we
please,
reply back?
you can. You also, I'll give you all a perception roll as well, or perception or insight or investigation if you wish.
$24.
Snap!
Nice.
I also got 24 for insight.
Hmm.
But,
I got a perception of 13,
Right?
but no, sorry, I'll go investigation of 14, but my passive is 24, so I don't know if that would come into play.
19 on insight.
Okay, so we had two 24s on insight. What was... Yeah.
Well, I'd say what,
Yeah.
I'll go for a perception if some, because my perception's the same as my insight. So
Mine too.
Yeah. But I'll take perception, seeing as nobody's done that one yet. So I got a 24 for perception.
And 24 for insight.
So I think I'm just, because everybody's rolled high enough and or passively is clever enough to have clocked it. You would have been aware that at the point at which the voice started, you'd been looking around the room, noticing kind of who's coming in, who's stayed, and you did notice that there was someone who looked very much like probably a captain of the guard had entered and taken a seat shortly before you started receiving the message. The person that you are looking at looks to be human, has a hood over her head at the moment, but does seem to have kind of pulled it back to reveal that she is somewhere middle-aged, long black hair, has a scar on her eyebrow, and stern face. She, as I say, she's wearing quite finely wrought armor, and does appear to be captain of the guard. You don't know who the representative was that you're supposed to be meeting, but from what she's saying, you would all surmise that this is the person that is going to be trying to help you, but cannot be seen to.
I just want to check that it's definitely like the only thing higher than a farmhouse in this entire area that my arcane eye can see is the statue. There's definitely no like her saying, oh, it's definitely this statue, and there's something else like just over that way.
I will say that, again, group insights, you are fairly certain that this is true. This is
Yeah.
that's truth. Yeah. Looking around, like there is no reason why a town like this would. It's not like there's skyscrapers or other statues for it to just, sit slightly more disguised amongst. No, this is a feature. This is supposedly. She will go on to say that it was donated by a diplomat from Waterdeep, but when questioned any further, the diplomat couldn't give any more details.
Can Bo please, whilst this is all going on, cast detect thoughts over onto her, and just try and make sure this is who it is.
This is No, let me get this right. Detect thoughts. You can kind of skim without a check, and then if you want to go further.
Yeah. I think it's surface level thoughts. So if it's done, I don't know. Surface level thoughts, basically.
Surface level thoughts. When you scan this particular person, you can see that she is on the surface level concerned. There is definitely there is a level of she knows what she wants to do, but she knows what she has to do. And, were she to try and do anything to this, gift, particularly one that has been wrought to look like Laeral Silverhand, it would not be received in the best light.
Okay.
So yeah, you get this kind of the surface level thoughts are very much like she is caught between a rock and a hard place.
Nice. I'm not going to push just now. Just something whilst the information's coming in.
So good.
Has she finished, or is she still? I think did Nat have a question? You were about to ask something, weren't you?
Yeah, I can't remember it anymore. I think the point of it is gone. Oh no, yeah, I was gonna ask who sent the statue, why is it here? But I'm assuming at some point Bo would share that info with us. So,
I mean, potentially as well, if Nora was literally on the cusp of that could be what brought it to her mind, allowing Bo to kind of read that thought, or I delivered it expeditious. If you'd asked it, she would have answered it. There wouldn't have been a point at which she would have hidden that.
Sure.
Well, as soon as she seems like she's finished, G will just like, that horrible scraping sound of as the chair just slowly gets crossed up. G will just stand and say like, "Let us destroy this statue." Just out loud.
Give me a persuasion roll, please.
Okay.
Well, I was about to say as well that because replying to the message is also psychic, right? Presumably, I don't have to make noise. So yeah, I think we'd reply saying something along the lines of, "I can tell you're conflicted. You could help us." So again, just can I add advantage to that persuasion roll, please?
You can, although the persuasion roll isn't persuade this person.
Well, I rolled a 9.
So yeah, I'm afraid it's still flat. You rolled a 9. Okay. If you say that, and also you will notice that everybody receives this. So you would surmise that she has some sort of item that is allowing her to kind of do a group message rather than simply one by one. Honestly, I wish I could, but I don't know where her accent's gone. Honestly, I wish I can't even remember what it was now. I wish that I could, but the problem is that it's my position here is much more useful as to the Harpers, and I can't jeopardize it. I'm going to blame it on the vocoder. It keeps changing the accent around.
Sure.
Well, I don't know, I want to help, but I can. It's one of those things.
That is a shame. I almost thought you were going to say that it cannot be destroyed or it's in some way invulnerable at the moment, because if I've been summoned here for mere wanton destruction, then that is a little disappointing, but I suppose the rest of you look like you're capable of it.
I have felled many a tree.
I can believe that.
I pull out my moonsickle.
Talking back to the captain, I would say, you do not have to fight with us, but you could assist with getting the other guards out of our way.
Fortunately, they are posted, and it's not going to be as simple as just waiting for the changeover. There's 30 guards on duty. I will be joining them shortly. I'll do what I can to dispatch whoever I can. My message.
Then we will have to create a distraction important enough for the guards to put their focus on getting the townspeople out of the way.
My recommendation would be, please. My request even would be, please don't hurt any of the guard, if you can help it. Don't kill them, at least.
Try to pull our punches, like you said.
But also, they will be. They aren't aware of any of this, so you might have to knock them out if it comes to it.
I think, yeah, fuck it. Protagonist Jones stands up and walks over to the captain. And I guess still replying as part of the message, would say, I believe a bar brawl would be a good distraction, and I would like to hit them in the face.
The townsfolk are not here. They are outside by the statue.
I'm going to very quickly as well just return to Niall, your 9 on your persuasion roll. When you say out loud that let's destroy the statue, it's kind of one of those Western saloon moments where the whole bar just goes silent. You know, there's a person playing a honky-tonk piano in the corner that just kind of stops. Everyone kind of turns to you. The 9 means that everybody bursts out laughing. Okay, G. So you go up to the captain of the guard and you punch her in the face. Please make me your attack roll.
Oh, dear. That's an 8.
That's an 8. It is not sufficient to breach her defenses. You swing the punch, and she kind of, in one fluid motion, moves your arm and kind of twists it behind your back. Probably significantly easier considering that your arm is made of tentacles rather than bone and sinew, presumably. She will kind of march you out of the door.
I get an extra
Out
attack.
loud, she says,
while she's pushing me out the door.
Sure, go for it.
Oh, that's even worse. That's a 7.
Just flailing at him.
Yeah, she's now got both of your arms behind you. It's like, except you probably have to put some of that into it because it's just like, oh no, my octopusness is being held behind me. Yeah, she marches you out of the pub, and out loud to, like, while still in the pub, she goes, all right, you've had enough to drink. Let's get home with you now. In your head, you do get, again, all of you. The statue is at the north of the town, and we are currently at the south. I think a bar brawl here would be less distracting than something happening up near the statue itself.
I was hoping to get the guards down here away from the statue.
Unfortunately, attacking the guard in the town tavern is only going to attract me. But good thinking. I think maybe workshop something with your companions. Defaulted to my default female voice because I only have the one, apparently. I don't know, you know.
There are an incredible amount of horses in the surrounding areas here. If they were all to get spooked at the same time, the townsfolk would need the assistance of the guard to get them under control.
I can
That sounds
turn
like a
into
good
a
plan.
spider.
What else can you turn into?
A really big spider. a really big scorpion, a really big lion. I saw a giant sloth once. I can also turn into a whale.
That will not be helpful here.
No.
Perhaps a lion, however.
A lion,
If we
a
want
giant
to
spider.
scare horses.
I
Which
could
is the
web up the
fastest?
whole townspeople in one giant web.
That could also be useful.
Work.
The fastest would be the lion. My paws move very fast. Also, an octopus, but that's only fast at swimming.
Eyes just flick at protagonist, like, that octopus has nowhere to swim.
Floating in a bubble, I think.
Yeah.
G then puts his hands on his waist in a Superman pose and says, "I am also a proficient spellcaster," and then looks out into the distance as if he's mimicking someone.
Congratulations. I should hope so. Well then, any other bright ideas?
Do you have a particular animal you were thinking of? Because I can turn people into things as well. If we want multiple.
I personally have no desire to be a lion, but anything that could scare horses, or anything that could loosen their pens to allow them to run outside and wild. We'll need someone to go and tell the guards that they've been set free.
Ah, yes. I can also send a message to them.
You seem to be the type that likes talking to people. Maybe you should do that.
Ah, yes. People tend to respond quite well to me. I'm sure I could do that.
You just get a flash in Nora's eye of I've never had that skill.
She crouches down right next to Bo's face and says, "I am also good with talking to people."
I always thought that about you. From the moment I met you, I thought very good at talking to people. Yes. This could work. This could go well. I think this will be fun.
Right.
Okay.
I'm going to have to get back to my post, which does unfortunately mean that this internal message is going to go away. I don't know if any of you also have the power to be slightly more conspicuous with your messaging, but good luck to you.
I just turn to Nora and wink at that comment. And we'll
Why are you winking at me?
Because of the
I
comment.
believe it is a method of subtle communication.
Yeah,
Okay.
very good.
Very well. That will be useful.
Great.
Slightly offensive to wink at a woman with an eye patch.
Oh. Bo did not think about that. And says nothing unless informed that that was rude.
So if do we want to go and see the statue first? Distracting the guards and the townsfolk is moot if the statue itself is beyond destruction. I mean, I could
would
throw
like
a
to-
fireball at it, but it is
I
stone.
would like to investigate before the statue before we proceed further.
Then let us do that.
You can absolutely all head northwards to where the statue is, and I will ask you all for perception. It's going to be perception or investigation again.
As we approach it, I'm going to use my gem of seeing that I picked up since the last time, which gives me true sight out to 120 feet. I want to have a look at it as we approach, because it allows me to see extra planar stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna make me give you all my secrets. Okay. Right. Well, I will say then, G, you can have advantage. Player G, Guardian of the Forest
Thank you.
may not have advantage unless you can come up with another reason.
my wonderful demeanor. I did roll a 23 though, so it's all good for. Yeah.
So did I.
What is this? It's the name link.
I rolled a 22 until with the advantage, and then it's 23.
Slowly, we're becoming one.
Going to be G playing protagonist, playing Niall, playing G.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
Or maybe G should be in the middle. Anyway, Nick, what did you roll?
Oh, I rolled a lovely 5. So,
A lovely day.
It's a lovely day. I'm enjoying it very much. I was going to say, following on from that wink, if it's possible, whilst we're walking, which is maybe why I'm distracted, I'd like to cast Rary's telepathic bond, so that the 4 of us have a mental link across infinite distance for an hour, which
amazing.
seems convenient. So, yeah. And then once I've completed that, I then say into the mind of Nora, "See, I told you."
Yes, I did not doubt you.
This is very strange. This is the first time I have experienced somebody else's thoughts in my head. Can you all hear me? Boop, boop, boop.
Yes.
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 Boop, boop.
We can.
Boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop. And it's just like a little tune that carries on the whole walk. Unless anyone stops it.
Your adventure is now underpinned with G's internal jukebox.
Can I roll a performance check to see how good the tune is?
I would be disappointed if you did not. Yes.
It's a 9. It's not good.
Mhm.
Boop, boop. 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 Boop.
It's below average, but you know, you know what? I tell you what, it's elevator music. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Nice.
I just wanted to say that he's walking completely straight. Like there is no like outward appearance of him enjoying this, but inside it's just pure sunshine.
Love it.
You all now feel like you're all not only on a group call but also on hold. So, Nat, what
Yes.
did you roll?
So rolled a 19, but again, my passive is 23, so I'll leave that with.
Okay. All right. Now, Nick, I don't know why this phrase came into my head, and then I realized it would be very offensive for me to say, so I'm going to say it. I was going to say with a 5, Bo is there. Bo is there to be the talker, not necessarily the looker. I don't mean that as an insult.
Love it.
The rest of you, however, you get a good look at this statue. Looking at it, and I think, G, I'll obviously come to your true sight in a second. But looking at it, it appears to be just earth, just as if someone has used the mold earth spell. Instead of carving the statue, they've literally kind of conglomerated it together out of dirt, soil, and then just molded it to be in the shape of Laeral Silverhand, which you would all be able to infer is a very easy way to conceal another object within within this seemingly solid rock in front of you. G,
And your best boy
secrets.
also has mold earth.
There you go. You could unmold Earth, presumably. G, Protagonist Jones, with your true sight, you can see extraplanar mischief, correct?
Mm-hmm.
This does not seem to be simply soil. Someone has gone to the trouble of rendering comatose 2 earth elementals and then molding them into the statue. It looks like there are some crevices that are rock, stone that has been kind of filled in the gaps. But there are two earth elementals basically hugging this obelisk, and you can see on the inside a pure black obelisk, very similar to the one that you saw, except roughly 50% increased in size.
I have never seen anything like this before. The soil on the outside, there is an obelisk in the middle, in the center, and the soil around the outside is not simply soil, it is somehow two creatures. Elementals, I believe.
Earth elementals.
Correct.
Oh, interesting.
Wait,
So actually, simply removing the earth wouldn't help because they are actually creatures. Do they seem dormant?
Yes. I am not sure how they have been incapacitated.
So we will have to deal with two elementals and then an obelisk.
Looks at G. Can you speak to them? Do you know Earth?
I could certainly find out. Would you like that to happen now? This may cause a distraction. And he puts up two thumbs to you.
That would be a distraction, yes. Perhaps we should try, now that we know what we may be dealing with. Could you see what the statue, the obelisk underneath the elementals was actually made out of?
Can I say what it's made of?
Give me an Arcana roll.
Oh, fine. 21.
21. It's not a rock that you know of particularly. You can tell that it is one contiguous piece of stone. So it has not been constructed of individual slabs.
Mm-hmm.
It's obsidian-like, but and I'll kind of weave in a little bit of history. You recall that the one in Neverwinter Woods, if you touched it, it was freezing cold to the touch. Regardless of having been sat in the sun the whole time, it is frigidly cold, to the extent that if you were to hold your hand on it for too long, you could potentially damage your skin. But yeah, some sort of obsidian, the way they got that much in a single piece. Anyone's guess?
I believe it is some sort of obsidian, but not like anything I have seen outside of this and the previous obelisk.
Out of interest, do you know how heavy the previous obelisk was that you dealt with?
I'm assuming I don't, but...
No, you wouldn't have been able to. Even if you were to kind of dig down, it seems to have been planted pretty deep.
No, I have no idea. It was impossible to tell how large it actually was. At least part of it is buried below the ground.
Okay.
All right, then. We distract the civilians, get them out of the way. Then I might be able to banish one of the earth elementals, maybe. Unless we think talking to them would be better. And then we see what we can do about this obelisk. Plan?
That sounds like a reasonable suggestion.
Of course.
So you're going to be a lion.
Or I could turn into one of them.
The earth elementals.
Yes, that's how I would speak to them.
Oh, I see.
Or I
Interesting.
could do it in this form, whichever one you prefer. I am capable of both. Again, people do find me quite appealing. And I turn to the nearest civilian and hand them like a rose. And I just say, you should probably leave. And then turn back around to everyone else.
Give me an intimidation roll. With
I don't
advantage.
think it's, if anything, it's a persuasion roll. He's not trying to intimidate anyone. It's like terrible things will happen. Maybe that is intimidating.
In such a calm tone, that's intimidating.
10.
The person that you gave the rose to goes, "Hi, yeah," and then like walks and stands next to someone else but doesn't leave.
Would the turning into an earth elemental be at the expense of turning into a lion?
Yes.
I see.
But I could turn him into a lion first, with no expense to him, or I could turn protagonist Jones or yourself or myself into a lion. But you said you wanted me to do the talking, so I was thinking I wait and then I do the talking, and somebody else should be the lion.
I could translate for you.
I do not wish to be a lion.
I also do not
With
wish
our
to be a lion.
telepathic link. With our telepathic link, I could also translate for you, presumably.
Yes.
Nora looks at the others being like, I don't want to be a lion, for
You don't
goodness
have to be
sake. I do not feel like I would make a good lion.
Oh, now, don't say that about yourself. I think you've got all of the capabilities of a very strong and fearsome lion. You could be a brilliant one, I believe.
I do not believe I need to be a lion to scare horses.
Very well.
That's true.
Maybe no lion needed.
Wow.
Right. Well, do you want to talk to the Earth Elemental? Shall we see if they are awake, my friend?
We need to get the people out of the way first.
Oh, yes. Would the Earth Elementals appearing make that happen?
I feel like the guards would stop and try and attack you, so this was the whole point of getting the horses free. To distract the guards so they go and help with the horses being put back.
Yes.
That would presumably take away some of the people around here as well.
Yes.
Let us free the horses.
Great.
Okay. In the interests of time, I will say that we can quite happily narrate you going round to the various different farms, all of which I'm sure I have somewhere, but none of which I have been able to find while just here. But they exist. You can Google them.
It's like a
You
montage
go
of
around
us
to
all
different
like,
farms.
yeah, going to all the different stables and like opening up the doors and being like, Kia! And the whole time it's the background music of the montage is just boo, ba-doo, ba-doo, boo.
Yes, no roll required. I think that opening a gate and then spooking the horses out of it is certainly something that is within all of your capabilities, and you were able to return to where the statue is. And I mean, Bo, this is your moment. This is the talking.
Great. So, we need the... How many people have left? Or is it just us? Or like, who's still here?
Oh, I meant the
Talking
horses
to
are
the
free.
people.
Yeah,
Oh, of
tell
course.
them the horses are
Sorry.
free.
They don't know that everything's gone. Cool. I will step in. It's quite... how big a space is this? There's quite a few people here, I imagine.
I mean, there's 30 guards, and then you've got hundreds of people who've kind of
Great. It just...
formed the pilgrimage from different towns.
In that case, I'm casting Thaumaturgy on myself just to be able to vocally project across all of them. And just to yell out saying, everybody, something, the horses, all of your horses are scattered. They're running everywhere. They've all gotten loose. We need to bring them all back in. This is what makes your wonderful, wonderful town such a joy to come to. We should probably collect them back in. Can we get some help, please? Can everybody get the horses back?
Roll me persuasion with advantage.
And
in fact,
guidance.
I will also give guidance.
Double guidance?
Can you double up on guidance?
It's a third of a one shot. Do it.
What is a guidance? Is it a D4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Well, let's add both of those on then if we're doing it anyway. Lovely. Then that is a total of. It could be a lot better, but it's not terrible. Wait, what were the numbers? 5, 15, 23.
23 is a very respectable, convincing tone. Yes, you shout out across the town, and all of the people look over their shoulders. A number of them you can tell are residents of the town, clearly have a vested interest in the horses, and they are the first to kind of go. You hear some of them, "Oh no, not Petunia," as they're kind of rushing off to try and get all of the horses back in their pen. And then some of the other people who are less invested, but how often do you get to see a whole bunch of wild horses running around, or tame horses running around wild? Even rarer. They could, the statue's not going anywhere, so they're like, yeah, right, let's watch, and go to aid the villagers in capturing the livestock. The guards are left a little bit forlorn. They're stood around this statue, and there's no one to guard anymore. They've all kind of headed off. And you see the captain of the guard from earlier approach the guards and starts going around issuing orders to widen the circle, but to still basically be keeping an eye on it, but to maybe just disperse a little bit and keep an eye on people, make sure no one gets hurt by the horses. So you are left. I would say you could kind of head off as if you were going to help, and then kind of just do a sneaky around the corner. You are now left with the statue.
Very well. Do you want to be an earth elemental?
Well, shall we try to speak to them first? And if speaking doesn't go well in this form, maybe I will try another form to see if they are more responsive to their own forms.
Off you go.
Okay.
Bo. And G gets really close to you.
Yes.
I may have overstated my ability to talk to people. Would you like to come? And I will translate for you.
I see. Okay, yes. How I will help you if you want.
But don't say anything to the others. And this is all out loud in front of you. Don't say anything to the others. I feel like I may have made a fool out of myself.
Oh, no. Your secret is safe with me, and no fool need to be made of anyone.
You are a good friend. What?
Yeah, nothing was said. Let's go and help. I help you.
Excellent. Yes, we are going together. We have decided together that was a good idea.
Yes.
Just going to, Nora doesn't really touch other people, but for guidance, you have to. So it's just going to gently pat G as he walks past. Just like, okay.
He pats you too.
Alt Universe G is also here.
Yeah.
Great. So, Niall and Bo, or Nick and G. Anyway, you head towards the statue, and how close would you like to get before you, presumably, is this tongues?
No, I can speak primordial.
Oh, you can just speak primordial. Oh, there you go.
I actually do have tongues, but this hasn't been brought up, so he's not going to consider casting it just yet because there was translation mentioned.
Okay. Guess what is the message?
So, we're going to find out if they talk. Okay. Well, I think perhaps you should try saying to them, well, first of all, hello, are you awake? Why are you here? And what are you doing?
The sound of gravel emanates from G's voice box. Just churning earth. Just the sound of churning earth.
As you speak in Terran, you hear a sound that sounds like boulders falling down a mountainside. Who was there? It hurts.
I'll just translate directly to Bo.
Cool. Say that it's bad. It hurts. We would like to free them if they would like to be freed.
Yeah, more gravel sounds.
My arms fused together. Hurts.
G's gonna sort of cock his head and then put a hand out and start to cast mold earth and see if he can start to loosen them from each other.
And I would say as well, protagonist Jones, you can, with your true sight, maybe guide as well, kind of give some instruction as to where the arms actually are fused together.
Yeah.
I'm presuming that you're all speaking with this internal link.
Here's a question.
Share a bit of back.
Would I be able to cast Dispel Magic and dispel the magic that's holding them together?
I don't see why not.
Right.
I was going to ask for a roll with the cantrip, but I won't ask for a roll with Dispel Magic. Dispel Magic.
I think maybe G starts to have.
I mean, I was also considering. So if you're molding earth, then I would do that.
Okay. I think between the two of you, you could certainly have come to this realization, and Dispel Magic works. You cast this spell. I would say that it doesn't quite. It's not like they both return to an unhewn rocky form, but they kind of. You realize that this is two earth elementals stood on each other's shoulders and then kind of molded around as if they're kind of embracing with all of their limbs this obelisk. But as you dispel the magic around them, their arms and legs unfuse and they're able to extricate themselves. You can see that the outsides of their arms and their legs and their backs have this. Still have this hewn quality, almost like a rock mockery of a transformer. Still have the likeness of Laeral Silverhand and or her arms and armor carved into them. So yeah, the likeness of Laeral Silverhand is still hewn into their backs.
I think I would like to. I would be like, who did this to you?
Red wizards, evil magic. Thank you, small friend. I mean, this is kind of two sort of 75-foot tall earth elementals just kind of looking down at you, and one of them will go to kind of try to gingerly tap you on the head.
I will move my head forward to receive taps.
Yes, you receive the taps from the 75-foot tall giants. Which way to say?
I was going to. I mean, have you translated any of this to those of us who don't speak Primordial?
I think.
Sending it back in the mind.
Yeah.
I think, G turns around and sort of looks at you guys like, which way to they?
I mean, generally east, but I was going to ask if the two of them wanted to be sent back to I mean, were they from the elemental plane of Earth? I can send them there if they're willing to go there instead.
I'll ask them if they want to go home or if they would like to go to Fae, because G doesn't know where Fae is or what it is.
Can we help, tiny friends?
Most likely. We need to destroy this statue, this big black brick. If you can find it in your ability to tear this down, that would be greatly appreciated.
Lovely. Could all four of you please roll me a D100?
Mm.
79.
Perfect.
8.
55.
3.
My God.
Represent!
So,
Wait. I need to check a thing. It might just be on D20s.
Mhm.
No, this is not an attack roll, an ability check, or a saving throw, right? No.
Nope.
Never mind.
So, before I reveal the results of this, I'm afraid I'm going to have to say that this is all we've got time for, and I'm going to set the riddle for the break for this is a bumper-length episode with 2 breaks. So I'm going to set the 9-letter scrambled word for the next part. The letters are A, C, C, L, M, S, T, Y. That is A, C, C, L, M, S, T, Y. See you after the break, but it is a goodbye from our 4 adventurers here. Until next week when we reveal what happened.
Whoa.